Hello guys, welcome to JEMINISTRIES. This is my first time going live on YouTube, so bear with me. It's not perfect. I'm just trying to get the word out there. Anyways, we're doing a little Bible study here, and I generally do a Bible study and I follow Our Daily Bread. So if you know what the Our Daily Bread is, it's basically Our Daily Bread is a group, an organization that gets the word out too. So Our Daily Bread. And let's just jump right into it. So, Our Daily Bread, we're going to read here. They want us to read here May 31st, Sunday. And the title for Our Daily Bread, the verse of the day actually, would be, "It is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose." And the title today is Easy Does It. So we're going to head and jump over into our Bibles to verses Philippians 2:13, which I just read a moment ago. Let's talk about this title. So 2:13 is, "For it is God who works in you to will and to act according to his good purpose." So what exactly does that mean? So I have a study Bible, and why does this sound like we have to work to be saved? Some people ask that question. Well, in this verse on 13, that's what it sounds like. The verse 13, "For it is God who works in you to will and to according to do his good purpose." So why does it sound like we have to work to be saved? Because even though God planned for you and initiated the work of our salvation, we still must respond to his grace. The work of salvation, though finished on the cross, is still being completed in individuals. God's grace is fully accomplished in our lives as we cooperate with God, acknowledging his call by our surrender and obedience to him. Because God works within us, we are able to work out our salvation. So if you didn't understand that verse 2:13, that's a little insight about that one. This is going to be a short one. I usually carry it throughout, but it's kind of late here. And like I said, this is my first YouTube thing. I'm sorry if it seems like unprofessional, but I'm trying to do the best as I can. So let's see here. Also, we want to jump into our Bibles here. If you want to turn to with me into our Bibles, we are going into the book of John, chapter 12, and we're going to be reading 1 through 26, verses 1 through 26. So starting out, the book of John, verses 1 through 26. And this is Jesus anointed by Bethany. Chapter 12, verse 1. 6 days before the Passover, Jesus arrived at Bethany, where Lazarus lived, whom Jesus had raised from the dead. Here a dinner was given in Jesus' honor. Martha served, while Lazarus was among those reclining at the table with him. Then Mary took about a pint of pure nard, an inexpensive perfume. She poured it on Jesus' feet and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. But one of the disciples, Judas Iscariot, who was later to betray him, objected, "Why isn't this perfume sold and the money given to the poor? It has worth a year's wages." He did not say anything because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief, as keeper of the money bag. He used to help himself to what was put into it. "Leave her alone," Jesus replied. "It was intended that she should save this perfume for the day of my burial. You will always have the poor among you, but you will not always have me." Meanwhile, a large crowd of Jews found out that Jesus was here, and they came, not only because of him, but also to see Lazarus, who was raised from the dead. So the chief priests made plans to kill Lazarus as well. For one account of him, many of the Jews were going over to Jesus and putting their faith in him. The next day, the great crowd that had come for the feast heard that Jesus was on his way to Jerusalem. So, in the Daily Bread, they want us to read that 1 through 12. Okay, we ended at 12. But let's talk about a little bit of the scriptures and verses here. So, verses, chapter 2, verse 3 here, was pouring perfume on the feet customary? Was it a customer ritual? Hospitality in those days called for washing the feet, but not pouring perfume on the feet. Washing travelers' feet after they have walked hot, dusty, dirty roads in sandals, soothed and freshened them for their visit. It was also customary to anoint an honored guest's head, not feet, with perfume. Mary and other women anointed Jesus' feet because she felt unworthy to anoint his head. In both cases, the women recognized the righteous nature of Christ in contrast to their own sinfulness. Another verse here, 3 through 5. Some people might ask a question, how expensive was the nard? Very. It was likely imported from outside the region. John's note that it was pure nard, which gave it added value. Judas did some quick calculations and complained about her extravagant waste, equivalent to the annual income of her labor. This goes back to verses 3 to 5, where Judas was like, why are you doing that? You're wasting it. You know, it's money and stuff. So that's the answer for that. On verse 7, why was the perfume intended for Jesus' burial? Sorry. It was not uncommon for family or friends to spend enormous sums of money on strong perfumes and spices to mask the odor of the decaying body. Knowing he was facing death soon, Jesus saw a parallel between the custom and Mary had done. He saw her act of love and devotion as something like a pre-anointing for burial. He defended her actions by reminding them of his approaching death. Verse 8, why not give to the help the poor? Jesus was not being or indifferent toward the needy. He was simply saying that there was a little time left for them to expense their love for him. They could and should always help the poor, but the worship of God must take priority over all human enviers. So, sorry about the baby in the background. Okay. Usually we do more, but it's kind of getting late. I'll do a Bible study here tomorrow. I'm going to try to get this better. Like I said, this is my first time on YouTube. Hope you enjoyed the message, and we'll hope to see you guys soon. God bless.